Okay, so in this video I was going to go over the words art historians use discussion. It's due September 4th by 11:30 p.m. So each of you will be assigned a word from the words art historians use section, and that's in the first chapter, the introduction chapter of our text. So the first day of class, make sure that you check the announcements. I'll show you where those are at. If you're just in course home, this is the announcement area. So I'll be posting an announcement and I'll be assigning you a word. So you'll have to reference that. So first you have to get your word on the first day of class in the announcements area. And so you'll read about your assigned word in the chapter, Introduction, What is Art History? And then you will create an informative visual slide using canva.com. And this will be shared with the class in the discussions area. So the slide that you create using Canva will illustrate the meaning of your word. So please include the definition of your word as noted in the chapter, and also include an image of an artwork that utilizes your assigned word. The text in your slide should explain how the artwork you chose uses the assigned word. Try to be descriptive. Show that you know what the word means. So if you get the word form, include the definition of the term, and then find an example of an artwork. You can use Google Images and pull off a JPEG or a PNG that features form prominently. And then you can write about how that example, that visual example that you found from Google Images or wherever you found it online, uses that term or that word. So also include the artist's name and the title of the artwork in your slides somewhere as well. So we'll be using canva.com to complete this assignment. You'll log into Canva. You can use your Facebook or Google account. I suggest using a presentation template for this. You can search for presentation in Canva to find the presentation templates. You can change the colors, the layout, the fonts to kind of create a visual theme that matches your assigned word. Don't make your slide animated and just have fun. Here's an example of what I'm kind of looking for. This Abby Peterson, she got the word form, and an object shape and structure is the definition. And the title of the work, right here, Woman by Chase. She says bronze. It tells you everything about the statue. And then she kind of goes over how the sculpture is using form. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. And then I also, after you download this from your slide from Canva as a PNG file, post that in the discussion area, and then there's still one more step after that. You'll have to comment on a classmate's slide. Tell us what you like about that classmate's slide. If you're the first one posting, just wait until other people get their stuff in there before you start trying to make comments on other classmates' slides. You only need to do it on one person's slide, so here's a comment example that you could put on a classmate's slide. I really enjoyed Abby's slide on the word form. I think she did a great job finding an example of art that uses form. Also, the fonts she chose are very easy to read, and the colors are pleasing to the eye. Just something to show that you actually looked around at your classmates' slides is really what I'm looking for. Okay, so let me show you really quick Canva. Hopefully some of you have used it. If you just go to canva.com, you can log in using Facebook or Google, and then when you come in here, there's actually a presentation here, or you can search for it as well, and it'll take you to the presentation. Templates. You can look up by price. Maybe you might want to just look at the free ones because you don't want to have to pay for the template, obviously. And you could find one that you think would work well for inserting an example. So say I get the word line. So I'm just going to try to find something that I think will work well for that. And this one is actually pretty good. Now this one has, I believe it might have, does it have more pages? No, it just has one page. So I can put my picture, my example here, I can put my word here, I can put my definition here. This is a pretty minimalist one, but you can go with, you know, something a little bit more, you know, this one's less minimalistic. So let's say I got the word line. Or actually, maybe I'll make it line. And then here, we will put the definition of line as, you know, presented in the book. And actually, I have it here as it was in the book, so you're going to have to reference your book and write it in, obviously, but I have mine already kind of figured out. So I Command-C to copy, Command-V to paste, or Control if you're on a PC. So I pasted that in to this text box, and I can actually go in and change the size. I can actually double-click here and just bring it down. Okay, and I can just kind of move this over a little bit by picking it up, just moving it. I don't need a logo, so I'm going to take that out. Take that out. Maybe take this out as well. So probably move this up here just to kind of get it. You can move things pretty easily. There we go. And next I can bring in an image of an artwork that uses line prominently. So I actually looked up famous line artwork to find some ideas. I did consider using this one because he does use line quite a bit in this piece, Van Gogh, but I decided to go with this one because there's actual just really stark lines in this piece. And so I was able to kind of, let's see, which one did I go with? I was able to get the name of the artist from here. So Kandinsky, that's kind of how I found the artist. And I looked up some Kandinsky paintings, and I think this black and violet one has some nice lines in it. So that's kind of how I found my artist, and I can do a control click or just a right click on a PC, and I can do a save image as, and just save that to my downloads. I'm going to name it line. So that image went into my downloads, and then if I go back into Canva, I can go into the elements, actually the uploads section, and I can upload some files, and I can go to my downloads, find my line JPEG that I downloaded off the internet as an example of an artwork that uses the word that I'm assigned. And I can click here, and then I think if I just click on that, let's see, I can kind of just click and drag it over, and you can get it in there. I'm actually going to make it a little bit bigger because this proportion isn't really showing the painting very well, or the piece very well, I should say. I don't think it's a painting. I can kind of shrink it down a little bit too, just to show a little bit more, because that's probably pretty good. And then I can move this over. Maybe I'll move this over a little bit. Just kind of center that in there. I can make my boxes smaller by dragging them in. Just clicking and dragging around. If I want to change like the color of anything, like the text, I can change the text color here. You know, maybe I want like a darker color that stands out a little bit more. The opacity, I can change the transparency here. I might actually make it a little bit more bold because it's hard to see. If I want to bring in any other kind of decorative element, I can go in here and I can find more lines if I want. So I can bring this one in, kind of makes sense. I place it over that other one that I had. I can change the color of the elements typically, although this one's animated, which I don't really want. A lot of them are actually, which is kind of annoying. But we could go line and shapes. Maybe bring in, no, maybe I want this dotted one with an arrow. I can change the length of it. Change the color of it up here too if I want. If I want it to be that color. I'll delete this one by pushing delete on the keyboard, like selecting it and then deleting it. Okay, and then I can say, you know, I'm going to delete this, and then I can say this artwork. Actually, let's see. This artwork uses line from 3. The lines are full of excitement to symbolize the lines are full of excitement and help to create a dynamic composition. Something like that, you know, just explaining to me roughly. And this one's called, let's go back here. I have a little bit, it's oil on canvas. So, yeah, we'll put his name in there, the artist name, which actually, oops. I'm just gonna go into Canva. I'm gonna go to text, and I'm actually just gonna put some body text in by clicking on that, and then I'm gonna highlight that and just copy paste what I and then the year 1923. I'm probably going to change this to something to match this. So if I highlight that, I can change the text here. The upper stuff is typically what's already in your document. So, and I'm going to change the text color to something that matches what I already have. And then maybe I'll make this a little bit bigger. This text is kind of small, hard to read. So I'll make it a little bit bigger. Maybe I'll center the text by pushing this until I get the center. And I'm going to actually maybe make this a different color. And make sure it's 100% transparency. Okay, so that's my design that I've come up with. I have the, title of the piece, the year, the medium, the artist name, and I have my term with the definition, and I have some sort of explanation as to the example that I found, how it uses line. It's using line in a dynamic way to create excitement, something like that. So this is looking pretty good. This is close to what I'm wanting. So when you're done with your design, you have it dialed in, just go to the share button and go to download, and then you can download a PNG file. And just go ahead and download that. That should go into your downloads folder. It's a PNG, obviously. So if we go into our downloads folder, I can open this up and you can see my PNG file that was downloaded into the downloads folder. So you can actually go into the words art historians use, or you can go into activities, assignments, words. Oh no, it's actually a discussion, sorry. Discussion. And then you can post in here, create a post, post your work, and then wait for others to post, and then make a comment on another's post. So that's the extent of this project. Hopefully that's, you can understand that. There's quite a few steps, but ultimately I think we'll have kind of an interesting discussion area where you can all see some examples of what everybody's made. So anyway, I'll talk to you later. Thanks, bye.